Welcome to Life Life Etc., show that covers all aspects of life, relationship, and success. And I'm your host, Anna Elton. And today we have a special guest, Rachel Barcellona. She is a writer, actress, comedian, international spokesperson, a founder of Ability Beyond Disabilities. She was crowned Miss Florida for America in 2023 and currently holds the title of Miss Liberty New York. Rachel has spoken at the United Nations, performed Off-Broadway, and at comedy clubs in New York and Los Angeles, and starred an award-winning film, Mandy's Voice. She was recognized among the most influential advocates in her generation. She uses every stage, whether pageant or performance, to challenge stereotypes and inspire others to embrace their worth. Welcome, Rachel. It's so nice to have you here. You're so amazing. I know I've been following your journey for a few years now. I know we met a few times, right? We know each other. So thank you for being here and thank you for sharing your story with us tonight.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
I know we had a few technical difficulties, that's why we're a little bit late, but we'll have an amazing conversation. So I guess before we start, we like to get to know you, and I like to start with a quick fire rounds. If you can think of one single word that describes your mission, so what would be that word?
Oh, only one word.
I mean, you can share a few.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very hard because I can be a very wordy person. But if I had to pick one word, it would be honest because I'm a very honest person. And everyone always asks me, why would you pick honest to describe a journey? But I would say I would pick that word because I do not beat around the bush. And for example, I picked my platform Ability Beyond Disabilities because it describes me and everything that I've been through as somebody who has autism. And for example, I would pick the word honest because everybody has to have a platform in pageantry and even in life, and nobody really picks one that actually describes them. Everybody wants to do the right thing or what's trendy at the time, and nobody picks something that's true to themselves, and that's why I'm really honest.
I love that. Thank you. So when we think of honesty, what do you think was the most difficult honesty moment in your life?
Well, I just don't think of honesty as difficult because I'll always tell you what I think. And sometimes that can be hard because honesty can be, another example, I had to really work on that because autistic people will always tell you what we're thinking all the time, 100%, and that can get us into trouble sometimes. So I think that was a really hard moment. I had to work on that in therapy because I could hurt people's feelings sometimes. But I think when it came to honesty, having the balance of learning to be tactful while being honest and also not wearing a mask while you're saying your feelings.
I love that. So I guess there's this triple filter test, right? And a lot of people really like tact sometimes, right? Sometimes they just say something and they, didn't realize how it can hurt other people. But there's this triple filter test. So three things. Whenever you want to say something, you need to ask yourself, is it kind, right? Is it useful? And is it necessary? And then if you say yes, if one of them says no, then just don't say anything. So I guess that's one you can filter for tact, right?
Yes.
Kind. Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to just say, oh, that dress makes you look fat, or you really look ugly in that makeup today. I think that there's so many more tactful ways to say that. I think that Because I will admit, I would have done that when I was a lot younger, and that got me into trouble. But if you don't like a dress that someone is saying, just say, oh, it's not your color, or the makeup is a little too bright. There are many ways around it.
Or don't say anything, right? If you
Yeah.
don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything. So I know you played main part, right? Main role in Mandy's voice. And can you tell us a little bit about the movie?
Oh, Mandy's Voice was a movie that was really, really special to me, and I played Mandy. The movie is about, well, Mandy, obviously. She is an autistic girl who's trying to find her voice in a world that is really not built for her. And I had a lot of fun making it, and or at least being in it. It was made by one of my friends, Roxana Lewis, and she was just wonderful to work with. However, it was not an easy journey because people wanted to cast me in the movie because of me being autistic. And at first I said no because Mandy's supposed to be lower functioning autistic. And of course, I am higher functioning. Mandy cannot speak. That's the whole point of the movie. She's trying to find her voice. So I said, I'm honored, but I would really, really be happy if you tried to find an actress who is non speaking because there's so many of us on the spectrum who deserve these roles. We're so talented, and I really don't want to be taking this part away from someone. So then they said, yeah, we'll try, but they were unsuccessful, which was really sad, of course. So then I took the part, and that made me really sad that we couldn't find anybody who was non speaking. But when I was about three to five, I was non-speaking, so it was just like going back to that little girl in me. So it was really a journey to play that part.
That's amazing. So when you were playing that part, what was your favorite point in that movie?
I don't think I had a favorite part. There was a lot of things that I learned about myself, just going back to the little girl in me who couldn't speak. And if I didn't have therapy, I probably would have been talking on an iPad right now because in the movie, Mandy talks with her iPad or talks in her own way through an iPad. I don't want to spoil it too much
Mhm.
for those who haven't seen it because you know how people feel about spoilers, but
Yep.
that's one of the main things. But mainly, the whole thing is about me learning about myself and a lot of cast members learning about autism, really, in a nutshell. And that's what we were trying to do, to show people in the audience what autism is really like and not the sanitized version of it.
So what was the most challenging part of that journey?
The most challenging part is, well, I would say wearing a lot of heavy clothes in almost 100-degree weather because the movie is supposed to take place up north, and we had to wear a lot of sweaters and all of that, those kind of clothes. And that was really not fun because it does they don't specify what kind of which state it takes place in, but it is up north. We filmed it in Florida, and I was really committed to that. So I'd say that was really hard.
And the whole process, how long did it take?
Well, it took, I don't, to be honest, I don't remember. I know that when I do a movie or a play, I just get really into it. I don't think about how long it takes or how many years or months it takes. I think about meeting people, making new friends, and the memories we make along the way. So that's what matters to me. It's not about how long it takes, it's about the journey and the people you meet.
I love that. So I know you perform, right? And you recently performed off Broadway.
I have, yes.
Can you share about that experience? It sounds amazing. I know I watched you and followed your social media, and I was like, wow, this is impressive.
Well, I didn't think I was ever going to be on any kind of off-Broadway thing ever, which which made me so happy. And oh, I'm just getting really emotional about it. So I auditioned for a troupe. It's called Epic Players. It's a theater troupe for people who have disabilities, and I did a couple plays with them. The most recent one was Spring Awakening, and that was my favorite play ever. I recently came off of that one, and it was so much fun. I loved that one.
That's amazing. So when you were a little girl, what was your dream? Like, what were you hoping to do when you grow up?
Well, to be honest, the dream I had when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a writer. I would always just be up in the wee hours of the morning and I'd write stories on construction paper and crayons. And I would tell my stories to the class, and I still want to write to this day. I'm hoping to get a book published, really.
That's amazing. So what type of stories do you write?
Well, I am currently writing a fantasy novel, and I'm also writing a crime thriller as well.
Oh my goodness. You're everywhere, right? You're doing everything.
Yeah, I'm currently focusing on the crime thriller because I just find that so interesting. I love Stephen King, and I'm currently living in Florida right now. I love New York. I want to go back there so bad. And the book that I'm writing is set in New York, and I'm thinking, why be sad about not living in New York right now? I could just write about it and be positive, you know?
And you can envision yourself back in New York, right?
Yes, that's the whole point. I just want to envision myself back there. And what better way to do that than just write? You know, it's my escape.
Can you give us a little spoiler about your trailer, or like you want to kind of keep it to yourself?
Well, I usually like keeping it to myself, but everyone likes to hear spoilers, but it's kind of like about a masked killer and he has feather powers and he's going to be caught by three people who are around my age.
Really cool. Okay. Love that. So good luck with that. I can't wait to see the book and to read the book. So I know you're doing a lot of things, right? Movies, Broadway, you're writing books. You're also involved in pageantry.
I am, yes.
So why, I mean, how did you start pageantry? Like, was it like were you young? Like, did your mom bring you to pageantry? Is it something that you wanted to do?
Well, that's really cool because pageantry was something I've been in since I was 5 years old. I wanted to do it myself, really, because it was something that I love doing. I love being on stage, and it was something that I did to come out of my shell, meet new people, and help with my autism too, but I wasn't a pageant girl. I was starting out There were so many girls that had these big, expensive dresses and big hair, and I was there with my little dress from Walmart. So it didn't start off well, but I was having fun and I just wanted to be on stage.
Do you feel like at any point you wanted to quit, or no, like, or you just wanted to be on stage and it didn't matter what other people were doing, you were just focusing on yourself and your journey?
No, I didn't want to quit. I just wanted to be up there.
So, have you done any talent shows or like performances while you were doing pageantry, or like was there like any talent piece in any of the
I
pageants?
I've done talent before, but I've always been too scared when I was younger. I didn't do talent until I was in high school, really. But nowadays I sing. I usually do opera or Broadway songs.
That's awesome. So, which one is your favorite?
I really Well, I went to Juilliard for opera training in New York, but nowadays I'm trying to get away from just from the opera thing. It's not that I don't like it, I just don't want to be so limited in my vocal training. So I thought, well, I really like musical theater. I want to try out the Broadway stuff because I love it, and when I tried it for the first time, I realized when you when you just stick to one piece of vocal training your whole school or your whole life, you're just I don't like that. I just think you should try a variety of genres, and that's what I'm aiming to do.
And as I can see, you've been trying a lot of different things, right? And is there a one favorite thing that you like? Movies or pageantry, writing books, or Broadway, right? I'm trying to think what else. You have your mission, right? You have your nonprofit. So which one is your favorite, if you can pick one?
Well, I would say above all else, writing is my happy place. I could do that for hours. And I do that for hours. It's really helped me with a lot of stuff. But as of late, I love working out. I go to Pilates, and that makes me happy. I could just be on that reformer for hours.
Awesome. And I know, working out definitely helps with mental health, right? When we're too stressed out, we need a little, workout so we can have our endorphins and dopamine, right, in our body so we can feel happier and more relaxed.
Yes,
So with pageantry, so right now you hold the title, right?
I do.
And is there an, state pageant, national pageant? What's the next step?
Well, I currently hold that title, and I think there's going to be another pageant for me to give up that title, and I'm currently moving on to a different pageant. I can't really say much about it.
Okay. Awesome. So you've been in multiple pageants, and when you think of all your experiences, what was your favorite? Because I know you went to the national for Miss, no, Florida for America, right? You went to Miss America, right? No, what was the?
Yeah, I'm thinking of one right now because I've recently done a lot more comedy, and I think this is what sparked it a little bit. And I was doing one of those big pageants. I was going to sing, and they played the wrong track for my talent. And I could have just easily ran off that stage, but then I started doing a stand up routine, totally impromptu, and I didn't even know what I didn't have anything planned, nothing written down, but everybody was laughing and it was a good laughing. I wasn't bombing or anything, and I just thought, okay, I could do something with this. And it lasted a good 3 minutes at least. And wow, I had at least two talents because then they found the right music and I sang, but I think everyone liked my stand up a lot better.
So that was your first time doing stand up, right? It was improv and then
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So you you started doing stand up on regular basis, or like have you tried a few more times, right?
Well, it was an accident, totally an accident the first time, but then I just thought, okay, maybe I could do something with this. And I never really took it seriously, but everyone said I was really funny. So I just thought maybe I could keep doing it at like maybe some bars or comedy clubs. And everyone liked it. And I just kept it to myself and my family or something like that. But then with Epic and Epic Players, I got invited to some really big shows out in LA and New York.
That's amazing. And I feel like with comedy, it's about honesty, right? Because I feel like, whatever we feel like something, we say it out loud, then it becomes comedy, right? Or something we observe, then maybe it's not too tactful, but when it's kind of like, wrapped up in the comedy, it makes sense.
Yes, I think that it's supposed to be tactful, but this is where honesty comes back in. I really like to be honest when I do stand up, and my humor is mostly about things that happen to me in my life. And I also kind of talk about nostalgia and cartoons all the time. When I went to the stand and the crow, I'm trying to remember. The stand was in New York, but I did a lot of research because there are stands everywhere. I remember one of my friends also got invited to the stand, and there's a stand in Scotland. I was telling her all about it, my time there, and she was talking about her time at her stand, and it was funny. I like that. But anyway, I was invited to the stand where I lived at the time in New York, and I was talking about how Teletubbies had BBLs because they have big butts. Because, I don't know. And everyone really, really liked it. And I compared them to the Kardashians' butts.
Okay.
So my comedy can get really weird, like slice of life. But the point is, I think like a pageant platform, it has to come from your heart. Everybody's talking about, oh, how I want to feed the homeless and I want to save the rainforest. But if it's not coming from you and your heart, nobody's gonna really laugh at it or care about it. And that's why being honest matters. It really has to come from your everything, really.
And I know your platform is it your foundation, right?
My foundation, yes. It has come from every fiber of my being, and my platform came from it started out as an anti-bullying platform because I started it in middle school, and I really wanted to show people who were like me that we can do things, anything that we want to. but I was being massively bullied in middle school for having autism, and people would say things to me like, "Oh, you're the R word," or "You're stupid," and they would leave notes on my locker that would say things like that. But instead of breaking down, I would leave notes on their locker that were positive, and I'd say, "I'd like your hair today." Or I'd write a note that would say, "I really think your shoes are nice," or something. It was hard because we wore uniforms. I went to a Christian school, so I really had to dig, to find something positive, but I did it. And one of my teachers found all the notes and she said, "You should keep doing this. Keep doing what you're doing." And I'm glad that I had that positive influence. And I'm still doing what I'm doing to this day.
So you respond with kindness, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you respond with kindness and also definitely comedy, because I always love to make people laugh, because eventually it gets to you sometimes. I always like to be positive. It it really helps. It shows people that you're not bothered and that you're just going to keep on doing what you're doing.
And I guess if you don't have fun, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to have fun along the way.
Yeah, it's all about having fun in the end. I think that we should always have fun, because what's the point of living life if you're not having fun?
Absolutely. So if you can, teach others, like who had someone or like who came across someone with autism, like what do you think would be helpful for them to know?
Ooh, well, I would say Tylenol does not cause autism.
Okay.
Definitely not. I just had a lot for my back pain today. But I'm getting a little controversial here. I would say to a parent with autism that it's I don't like to be I also don't like to be I'd say the same thing all the time and say everything's gonna be okay, because to some people it's not gonna be okay, because everybody on the autism spectrum is not the same. I think that more often than not, we're always shown the same portrayal of autism all the time, and everybody thinks, "Oh, my kid could be like that." But it's just hard because not everybody is high functioning, and we need to pay more attention to lower functioning people and how sometimes it's not going to be okay.
Absolutely. So growing up, what do you think was the most helpful thing that your mom or your dad did for you?
The most, I'd say, therapy. They always paid attention. They always helped me. My mom is a nurse, and I can go back to what I said with the fact that we're all a spectrum, and that for some people it's not always going to be okay. But I'll continue to what I said, just being positive and always being for your child, no matter where they are on the spectrum. That's the best advice I could say. Like my mom was always there for me, and without her, I'd be talking through an iPad right now. And I owe it all to her.
That's awesome. So we need to applaud to your mom. She did an amazing job.
Yes.
Um, and when you think of autism and romance,
Mm,
what comes to mind?
my goodness. Well, And that's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about because not every autistic person experiences that, and that's okay. I think that we shouldn't be forced to want to have romance or to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I think that a lot of people put us in this box, the box of wanting somebody or saying that we need somebody just to be independent. I don't think we should have that. It's kind of really making me, I wouldn't say mad, but I think we should break out of that. Everyone says that autistic people should be independent, but independence should also start with not feeling the need to have romance or crave it so much.
Okay. So if you like to be independent, you would need to be independent, right?
Well,
Then
don't get me wrong. I mean, I really want to get married. I always envision my dream woman and walking down the aisle, but I feel like I don't want to always be like wanting and wishing all the time. I want my independence and I value my independence.
that's awesome. And I know you've been doing a lot, right? So what is next for you when you think of your next, I guess, big goal or your independence or something? So what's next?
My
Mhm.
next big goal, well, definitely preparing for more pageants. And even when I'm not busy, I'm always busy. So I'll be traveling more, going back to New York, and then I'll be going to another gala in Miami. So I'm really spoiling a lot. But so I guess we can just say traveling a lot, and hopefully I'll get to do more writing because I try to make a schedule, but then it's just like, oh God, I gotta do this and that. I just like to make time and become more organized. So I'm just hoping. All I am is hoping, and also hope to see my friends too.
A lot of great goals. And so with your writing, what is your, I guess, vision with writing? Do you hope to be self-published? Do you want to find an agent or publisher?
Oh, the dream since high school was to find an agent and get it published, see it in the stores, and if I'm lucky, maybe see it on TV or something.
So maybe a movie out of the book, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, for fiction, you need to finish your novel, right? And then you can try to pitch to agents. So, I mean, I will vote for you. I wish you luck with that. And I mean, I feel like anything is possible when you believe and when you put a lot of effort into it.
Thank
And I
you.
feel like you're welcome. And I think like a lot of heart, right? When you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, well, I mean, my heart is bigger than my cheeks, so I think I can do it.
I like that. So you're using your comedy
Yeah,
anywhere you go.
yep.
I love that. So, when you think of one final piece of advice that you can offer our viewers, what do you think they should know about you or anything about that would be helpful for them to take
Well,
home?
I would say it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. You should always never let that limit you and go for your dreams.
Thank you. I love that. It's beautiful. So, if anyone would like to find you, talk to you, reach out to you, where they can find you.
Well, I'm basically everywhere.
And I think we lost Rachel.
I wanted to so bad. Twitter, everywhere. It's just under my name, Rachel Barcellona.
So just Google Rachel Barcellona and you'll see her accounts, right? On Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, right?
Yeah, you can just Google me. I'm everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for sharing your amazing story. I know you've been doing a lot of things and you're through inspiration to a lot of people. Thank you for being here and I will talk to you again. Thank you for watching and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you and have a good night.